I don't even know where the fuck to start with this one. A lot of shit happened yesterday. Let me start by saying the events that unfolded at the Capitol yesterday were wrong. It was a bad idea. I don't know what people were hoping to accomplish there, but I'm not a hypocrite. Like I said, I don't think that breaking in and doing that kind of stuff is ever the right move, no matter what cause you're fighting for. That said, the media has blown it even more out of proportion, I think. Um, they're saying all of this is like the worst thing ever. It's terrorism, it's Pearl Harbor, it's all this, it's that. When months ago, when Black Lives Matter was doing the same thing, in some cases, much, much more, when Antifa and Black Lives Matter overtook a federal courthouse in Portland and sieged it for over 100 days, that was called peaceful protesting. But when the right does it, and I disagree with it still, I agree it's wrong, but when they do it, it's suddenly the worst thing ever. The hypocrisy is one of the biggest problems here. And I think it's one of the things that's inflamed tension so much. When months ago you had Kamala Harris literally putting together funds to bail out rioters, and now you have all these people on the left talking about how this is insurrection and all this and that. Again, I am not in favor of the political violence, if you want to call it that. I mean, from what I understand, they didn't actually hurt anyone. They still breached the courthouse, which I guess is still an act of violence, and they shouldn't have done that. And they're all probably going to prison because none of them were wearing like masks and hiding their identities or anything, which, I mean, they shouldn't have committed the crime in the first place. I understand the anger, the emotion, I do. Believe me, I don't know what we do. This is the most stressed I've been in a while. I have no idea what the hell we do. I am terrified for the future because I feel like the response to this is going to be the biggest response we have ever seen. So I think that if you thought the Patriot Act was bad, the shit that's coming next is going to make that look like baby shit. Censorship is probably going to be nuts. There's going to be all sorts of crackdowns. You have all sorts of politicians talking about doing these witch hunts and like kicking all these people out of Congress and stuff like that. Like, you have like the left advocating for expelling all the Republicans from Congress that supported Trump. You got them talking about finding, going after Trump's lawyers. They were already talking about that before yesterday, but I feel like that's going to go down even more. They're talking about trying to impeach a man who's only going to be in office for like 2 more weeks. So I think that the response is not going to be very well measured. It's going to be very over the top. I think that there's going to be crackdowns on things. The internet's probably going to be fucked way more than it's been fucked in a very long time. I think that free speech is going to suffer for this. And the problem is everyone is blaming it on, specific, like, there's the left trying to say Trump incited it, which I don't think that was ever his intention. And in fact, Facebook and Twitter both banned Trump from their services. They suspended him. Simply, and they removed a video of him trying to tell his supporters to go home. Why would you remove that? They call that a call to violence, where he literally told them to go home and to calm down? What the hell? That makes no sense to me. Maybe some of his phrasing in it wasn't the best, but he was literally calling for calm. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know why everyone thought 2021 was going to magically be better than 2020. I'm very nervous at where the future goes. I'm worried about concepts like, lockdowns and martial law and things like. I'm terrified of these things. I'm terrified of civil conflict, civil unrest. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope for the best, but I don't see things calming down with this escalation. I hope they do. Things need to calm down, but I don't know how we do that. Because the problem is no one will humanize the other side. Everyone looks at each other like enemies now. Tensions are so inflamed. And now I'm afraid we're going to have one-party rule. Biden is officially president-elect now. Yesterday was the day that happened, and that's why things were so crazy. Um, but and the Democrats also are projected to win Georgia. I have no doubt that they're going to take those seats as well because they've already won the election essentially. And I don't feel like there's going to be any contesting after all the drama around what's going on right now and just how the system has handled everything so far. I hope to God they actually don't go through with packing the court, but I feel like they're probably at least going to try. And I feel like this is going to give them justification to do it. They're gonna milk this. They're gonna do that. This is going to backfire tenfold, and it's freaky. I hate though that everyone will blame that, but then they wouldn't condemn this when it was happening all year last year. This was going on, but because they agreed with Black Lives Matter politically, they let it happen and they said it was peaceful protests. They bailed these people out. DAs wouldn't prosecute. But now the other side does it once, and it's the worst act in American history. The double standards are ridiculous. Like I said, I do not agree with what happened yesterday. 4 people died. And granted, from what I understand, all of those were the people carrying out the actual storming of it. Like, from what I understand, all of it were people getting shot by police. And it's all a terrible situation. But people won't acknowledge that the media did incite this. They instigated this. With number one, the double standards, where they were just saying that all of this was okay when the other people were doing it. They incited this by continuing to be manipulative, dishonest, and, creating further division. The courts helped incite this when they would only dismiss things based on bullshit things like mootness and latches and standing and ripeness, where when something was contested too early, they were like, it's too early, nothing's happened. Then when they tried it during, they're like, this isn't the right time either. And then when they tried after the fact, they're like, it's too late. Saying essentially there was no right time and not seeing any cases on their merit. That led to this just getting worse and worse. YouTube is going to be cracking down early and striking people if they make certain claims now. So I'm not going to even talk about that, but you get where I'm going with this. The whole thing is ridiculous. I think that we are in for some dark times, and I'm terrified about that. If this gets better, I feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better. I hope tensions will calm down, but I don't know what's going to happen. I hope everyone watching this stays safe. I don't care where you stand politically. I hope you're all right, and I hope that my worries are unfounded. But you never know. And I feel like shit's only getting tenser and tenser. We can't keep dehumanizing each other. That's the biggest problem. Is people will dehumanize those they disagree with, and it leads to this. It leads to this kind of strife. I was debating even doing this video in the first place because I didn't know what to say. I had a lot of emotion about yesterday. Very stressed out because I don't know what the response is going to be. This obviously wasn't a good look. It just wasn't a good situation overall. It was a mistake. And the people involved are probably going to prison for a while. And it sucks that there's a double standard there, and it wasn't carried out equally throughout the year. But I don't know what we do at this point. I try my best to be a hopeful and optimistic person, but I'm not going to lie, that black pill looks more and more like it's the way the world is, like everything's falling to shit. But I'm going to try my best to not give up hope. But it's tough. It's real tough. And when I say hope, I just mean hope in the future in general, not at any specific thing happening, because everything is already pretty set in stone. So, but that's not even the worst of it. I'm just worried at the response to what happened yesterday. I'm worried what the government will do in response, how they will destroy rights even further. Because our rights have been trampled on all year last year. And I feel like it's only going to get worse now. Because now they have their boogeyman, they have their justification. They're going to go after everybody. I'm going to just keep going on with my life and keep doing my thing. I'll probably do a DVD collection update here soon, try to lighten things up a little bit. I was debating just doing something lighthearted and fun beforehand, but I feel like I had to say something here so that people didn't think I was having a double standard and remaining silent when it was happening from the other side. There's a lot of things that have been said. Some people were in support of it, which I think is a very dangerous thing to do. Some people condemned it, which I think was ultimately the right move. And some people say it was Antifa in disguise, which I can't say that that's the case because I haven't seen enough evidence to say that. I think that even if that was a contributor, at the very least, a good chunk of these people were genuine Trump supporters. So to pretend it's always the other side, I think, is just pretending that our side can do no wrong. And I don't agree with that. That said, I don't know. I don't know anything about, like, another reason is because there's not enough information out there yet. It was fresh. That's why I didn't do this video yesterday, is because everything was still ongoing. But good luck to everyone. I hope we can all stay safe, and I hope things can calm down.